Now, one of the most common trees in British hedgerows is the hawthorn, and you can recognise it in the spring because it's covered in white flowers, and in the autumn the branches are sagging under the weight of red berries. Now, in the olden days, hawberries used to be a very important food source. They were used principally to make jellies, but they're also very high in vitamins as well. But nowadays they seem to have fallen out of use in Britain as a food source, and I'm trying to encourage people to start using them again. Now, today we're not actually going to make a jelly with it, but what we are going to do is make this. This is a bottle of hawberry ketchup, which I made just a few days ago, and it's got a very fruity taste to it, but it's also quite a sweet and sour taste as well, and given that ketchup is Chinese in origin, then that seems to be quite an appropriate flavour for it. And to make it, this is what we have to do. First of all, you need your freshly picked hawberries, and you need to strip them from the stalks. Now, don't worry if you've got some stalks like that on, because ultimately we're going to be sieving these. But once you've got your berries, give them a rinse and then get them into the pan. For every 500 grams of hawberries, you will need to add 300 millilitres of white wine vinegar and 300 millilitres of water. Well, apply heat and bring it up to the boil, and then leave it simmering for about half an hour. Now, what you want to do in the simmering process is actually get all those berries to break up, because you're eventually going to mash them through a sieve. And one thing to be aware of is not to be surprised at what you will find when these berries start to break up, because although they are red on the outside, I'm sort of trying to check it on our monitor there, it looks a bit dark, but if you break it up, you can see it comes out as yellow on the inside with a rather large stone as well. Just to check that. Yeah, you can see that on my monitor there. I have to confess that a few days ago, when I first made hawberry ketchup this year, I slightly cheated and used a potato masher at the end of the simmering to help break it all up. Well, once you've finished simmering it, you've got to sieve it to get rid of the stalks, skins and pips. Put the puree back in the cleaned jam pan and add the sugar. You need 170 grams for every 500 grams of hawberries that you started with, and put the heat under the pan and bring it back up to boil, and just stir in the sugar. You'll also need half a teaspoonful of salt for every 500 grams. Good. We have, for this one, we need 1.5 teaspoons. And at this point, if you want it spicy, now's the time to add in your spices. We're just giving it a bit of cayenne pepper, not too much. And ground black pepper to taste. Once it's come up to boil, leave it to simmer for about 5 minutes. Once it's had its 5 minutes of boiling, simply add it to sterilised bottles. Okay, so there we have it, 4 330ml bottles of hawberry ketchup. Used within a year, and once you've opened them, store them in the fridge. Okay, one of the other skills that we seem to be losing is how to make fruit leathers, and in an upcoming video we'll be showing you how to make them. See you then.